Welcome. In this assignment, we'll be looking at how linear patterns can be shown as tables, rules, and graphs. A little background on lines. A line actually has an unlimited number of points. However, often you'll see just a couple dots showing specific points. We could actually find lots of other points on the line. If we're trying to match a table with the graph, all points listed here must be able to be found on the line. Let's look at an example. When we start making a table from a graph, it's going to be easiest to use the dots that are specifically marked for you. What we need to do is figure out the coordinates or the ordered pair for each of those dots. Remember that the first thing we list is the x coordinate. X goes across the bottom and tells us how far right we moved. Y is up the top, tells us how far up or down we went. Let's start with this dot. We need to figure out how far over that dot is. Sometimes it's easiest to do if you actually draw a line straight down. And that helps me see that that point is over 2. I'm going to go and fill 2 into my x value in the table. Now I need to find the y value. I have to know how high that point is. So I can draw a line straight over and tell that that hits at 6. So my y value is 6. So in my table, I now have a pair 2, 6. That means when x is 2, y is 6. Let's try our next point. Again, I'm going to draw my line straight down to figure out my x value. And there's not a number written there, but I can tell that I went from 2 to 4 to 6. So in between there must be 3. So my x is 3. And then drawing straight across. Same thing, I'm between 8 and 10. That must be 9. So I'm going to put 3, 9 in my table. I'm going to go ahead and draw the lines for this third point. Take a minute to see if you can figure out the coordinates. You can hit pause if you need a minute to think about it. So that dot is over to the 4, up to the 12. My point is 4, 12. And finally, our last dot. See if you can visualize it without drawing the line. Okay, that's over 5, or I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how far up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5, 15. In many of the problems this week, you'll actually be matching a table with a graph. So what we need to do is we need to check if the points in our table are actually on the graph. So we could look at our graph and find this first point here. Okay, that first dot is over 2, up 1. So I have the point 2, comma 1. I'm going to go ahead and look at my tables and see if any of them have the point 2, comma 1. First table says when x is 2, y is 8. So that one's not going to work. Second one says when x is 2, y is 1. That looks promising so far. This one down here, I'm going to find when x is 2. When x is 2, it says y is 2. That's not true. And the last one says 2 and 3. Well, that doesn't work either. Sometimes you won't be able to eliminate them that quickly, so we're going to go ahead and check a couple more points. We can also have over 3 up 2 is correct, over 4 up 3, and 5, 4. This is the correct table.